Hello there. In this presentation, we are going to have a look at the core products in the Zoric portfolio, capable products which are innovative, competitive, and keys to our business success. For a start, we will have a look at the fog light barrier, which is the most important product by the Zoric. So unlike your prototypical true beam sensor, where you have a separate emitter, receiver, and perhaps the amplifier, the fog is a true beam sensor in a singular housing. So here you can see a particular model of the fog sensor. So one side we have the emitter and the other side a receiver. So a light beam in between the fog. So any object or any target passing through the fog will be able to pick up. So this product features a very high accuracy, high speed, and definitely strong and reliable. So it comes in variants of red light, IR light, and also laser. Then with a wide range of dimension from 5 mm to 250 mm fog width. Then on this sensor itself, you have other setting elements such as changing the normally open or normally closed condition, and also sensitivity adjustment, where you can adjust the sensitivity depending on the requirement of the target itself. So right now, with this being the Zoric strongest product, is already IO link ready, meaning there are a lot more that you can achieve with these particular sensors. Everything is digitalized and we are able to uh, change more setting on the sensor itself, such as different working modes from high accuracy mode to high speed mode, depending on requirements. So for the next product, angle light barriers. Same concept as the fog sensor, just shaped differently with a L-shaped design. So this actually provides an additional mounting flexibility in case the application uh, there are space constraints and you are not able to mount the fog as desired. Then we can have a L-shaped design which is more flexible in terms of mounting. Same working principle, same element adjustments. Everything is the same except for the housing design itself. So last but not least, we have the frame light sensor. So in this square frame, there are multiple optical lines. So any target that fall between this array inspection area, the sensor will trigger an output. Very high resolution and very high switching speed. And of course, there is a static and dynamic operating principle, adjustable and selectable depending on the application itself. So all these products comes with very robust metal casing, so very strong, very reliable, very suitable for to work under very harsh working environment. Okay, an introduction on the sensor itself. We mentioned that one side is the emitter and the other side is the receiver. So there is actually an arrow indication where you can actually see where the light path, the source is coming from. So any target that comes between this four the fog will be able to trigger. Then as mentioned, 050 will mean that this fog has a fog wave opening of 50 mm, whereas if 070 we will have a fog wave of 70 mm, so on and so forth. So for all these products, it's actually IO-Link capable as indicated. So each sensor comes in 4 different sensing mode, where the original factory default will be the standard mode, and then via IO-Link we can change it to high speed, high power, and also high resolution depending on your customer requirement. So in Asia context, where currently IO-Link is not very popular yet, so this is the second generation of the fog sensor. So similarly with the first generation, the default potentiometer adjustment is still available, where you can change the setting using a screwdriver to either, if you need the NO, NC, and even the sensitivity adjustment. So everything is integrated on the sensor itself. No alignment issue and no other additional wiring. So just one particular cable, one singular housing, easy to apply, easy to operate. An additional advantage of what this sensor has is, unlike other brands where the cover of the sensor is just a typical cover, and then you have gaps where in demanding environment there is intrusion of water vapor particles, and the sensor will die a lot quicker. So in the Zoric case, you can actually see that our product, our fog sensor, is actually fully encapsulated, meaning to say you will not be able to find any gaps whereby any foreign particle is able to enter the sensor itself. So with this design in place, the sensor has a very long lifespan, very reliable, very robust, which is why the Zoric is confident enough to give a 5-year warranties for the fog and the Angle series. In this slide, we can see 3 different applications making use of the different sensing modes in the sensor itself. So in harsh and demanding working environment, where there might be a lot of sawdust or other dust particle, where your regular photoelectric sensor will require a lot of cleaning, the fog can actually comes in a high-powered model, which can be coupled with a infrared optical lighting. So with this configuration, the sensor itself is able to function with very high performance capability. Thus, cleaning is brought to a minimum because of the penetrating power of the IR light itself, and also with the sensor working under high performance configuration. So other special requirements application might include high-speed monitoring, which the OGU 010 is able to reach to a max speed of 14,000 Hz switching frequency, Now this speed is very fast compared to other products in the market. So 14,000 Hertz is a very high value which is almost unmatched. So in such requirement, we definitely have the right sensor for the job, and it's up to us to bring this knowledge to the customer themselves. So very high switching frequency, very high switching accuracy also. So depending on the requirement of the application itself, one particular one singular model of the sensor, we are able to configure it differently, and then uses it to address the different situation, different working requirements. Here you can see some actual real installation of the fog sensor to see in normal circumstances how the fog is being installed, how it's being mounted to the machine itself, how the detection is being carried out. So in this case, we see material feeding system whereby the fog is set up with the line in conjunction to the material path to pick up the presence and essence of material. So what it can do, it can also perform the location of specific parts depending on how you would mount the sensor. So from this video, we can actually see the use of the fog sensor in a bottling plant, where the transport of the bottles, the speed is really really fast. So in this case, we are using a laser fog for which is the highest performance and also the highest switching frequency. So we can take a look at the transport of the bottles are. So under such high speed, you can also see that the switching itself is very accurate. So the fog sensor is definitely a very capable product, easy to understand, easy to install. Just that in Asia context, most customers are used to using fiber optics for all these application, or just regular photoelectric sensors. However, the fog does have a lot of advantages that I believe once we introduce this product to the customer, it might actually be very interesting and beneficial for them. An example of where we will see the angle light barrier. So in robotics application where there are a lot of grippers for the gripping of materials, the angle light barrier can actually be installed parallel to the gripper itself so that it doesn't obstruct any material coming in or out. That is why we mentioned that the very unique design is not adopted by a lot of other brands, but is actually a very flexible, a very innovative product that is definitely going to be very helpful in a lot of applications in the market. So such products are very cleverly innovated and developed by the Zoric. So I really hope that we can do our best to bring all these product to your customer and see where we can put these sensors to good use. Okay, so same thing for due to its unique design. If let's say there is any mounting difficulties or any concerns with installation, the angle might be a better choice than the fork itself. So in this video, we can actually see actual installation in a plant in Singapore, where they use it to count plastic trays. So under normal circumstances, how are you going to position your regular true beam sensor? You can do it the same as the angle, but it's going to be a hassle coming up with the brackets, doing the alignment, where the angle sensor itself comes in one singular housing, where you can easily install it to your customer preference and easy to apply and operate. So here we can see the very high detection capability and the accuracy that the sensor actually has. Here we see some applications using the array type frame sensor. So under the condition whereby the ejection of the manufactured material is not consistent, the material path might not follow a regulated pattern. In this case, we can use this frame sensor, which is governing a particular area, to pick up detection. The main selling point of this sensor is its ability to pick up very small objects down to a minimum size of 0.7 mm. Of course, this is depending on the model and also the type of sensor being used. This is an example of the high resolution model being used in a particular component manufacturer, where the component is really down to the size of less than 1 by 1 millimeter. So what the machine is doing is actually placing all these small components, whereby the small components will be fed through the tube and it will go down to the place of assembly. So as you can see, the movement of the machine is very fast, indicating that the switching capability of the sensor itself is also very high. So in the other video, you can actually see the sensor turning on and off with the passing through of each components.